thinkers in the field of innovation, corporate social responsibility and the ethics of economy have been invited by the Center for Human Market Economy to Schloss Urstein near Salzburg to discuss on the concept of social innovation.
We now had for 10-20 years a discussion on CSR. And now new ideas come in, the idea of social innovation. And I think this is a good bridge to business to show them that it's not only about ethics, it's really about business issues. So once you get social issues driving your innovative processes, in the end you will have a better business, which means you are more socially responsible, but you also make and earn more money.
The symposium was supported by the Intel Corporation. Thomas Ausburg, who is the public affairs manager of Intel Europe, is also an expert on social innovation. He explained social innovation by giving an example from Intel.
We brought notebooks to Africa in this case because we wanted to enhance and improve education. But we realized it's not just the notebook or the technology, which means we also need energy, we also need telecommunication, broadband, we also need content and training. So we brought together key partners from these areas, the telecommunications company, the energy companies, etc., in order to create an ecosystem that really serves the needs of the population there. So in the end we also produced the computers there, or the computers were produced locally, creating employment. So you see all these kind of things together, we created a coalition in order to really solve a problem. That basically was our approach there.
Sometimes corporations can do better in solving social and ecological problems than national or international organizations and institutions, like for example the United Nations can do, says Michael Hopkins, who worked in more than 100 countries throughout the world to help solve such problems.
The UN is commonly known as the place where development takes place and provokes development around the world. But unfortunately, despite their best efforts, they failed in reducing poverty across the world and all sorts of other issues. But maybe the bar's been set too high for them. So talking about the United Nations, it's a relatively small organization. I think the whole budget of the United Nations is about less than 1% of the New York health budget. So corporations certainly are far away ahead of that in terms of development.
Corporations do not only have the financial power to help, but they are experts in inventing or adopting new technologies that can be the right answer to social problems in some regions of the world.
All I'm suggesting is that innovation brings in a whole new dimension to me that is very consistent with what companies know about, which is innovation. And so they're sitting on an asset that could be used tremendously for these social issues as part of their CSR. Coca-Cola, for example. Coca-Cola now has committed itself to finding ways for renewable water. That is, every drop of water they use, they will find a way to replenish that. Well, that's a huge breakthrough for a company.
Juan Fontrodana, professor for business ethics in Barcelona, is convinced that introducing ethics into the business discussion means to look at things differently.
Ethics is like a focus that makes us to see the business reality from a different perspective, the perspective of principles, duties, responsibilities, and this makes to look at the business not just in terms of profits, but in terms of what's really important in the business world, which is people, which is my responsibilities towards them and towards society.
The Indian thinker and business strategist Deepa Prahalat focused in her statement on the role of design for the whole social innovation process.
Well, I think design is really the combination of looking at needs and aspirations and combining those in a very interesting way. And it doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor. People gravitate toward things that make them feel good about themselves. So being a passive recipient of aid is in some sense like receiving a Christmas or birthday gift that you didn't really want or ask for. When you become a consumer, you suddenly are asked what your preferences are, what your likes are, and you have a lot more options in terms of delivery, and you can make choices about about what's right for you and your family. And I think there is a profound role for design in that process.
André Habisch, economist and theologian at University Eichstätt-Ingolstadt in Germany, took a close look at social innovators and came to the conclusion that social innovators are not genial individuals like Gutenberg or Leonardo da Vinci, but in most cases they are a group of people.
What is interesting for us is then how is this group achieving and stabilizing cooperation among them? How is it possible to overcome a situation of opportunistic exploitation of the effort of others? Yeah, and how do they all not only once but continuously motivate themselves ethically also to engage in cooperation and to bring forward their social innovation?
But why should a company be socially innovative? Susan Müller from the business school in Wiesbaden tried to make clear what the benefits of social innovation are.
3 reasons. One is sense-making attracts employees. What people want to do is they want to have a positive impact on the world. Second, I think companies can learn their target markets, their future target markets. They can learn about that. And third is, I think that for some innovations, they allow you to earn money. So I do think it can have an economic bottom line.
An overview on the actual debate on social innovation gives the new book that was published by Springer and first presented at the Symposium.
What's happening here with this book is that it is part of a discussion that is taking place worldwide. The book will be available in more than 5,000 institutions around the world.
A book that should become a milestone in the further development of the concept of social innovation and in the creation of business strategies that can help overcome the social and ecological challenges the world is facing now.